What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Wednesday. What is today's date? What do we got here? Today's date. I think it is the 27th of July. Oh my gosh, 2022. Welcome, everybody, today. Hey, I'm really glad you're here. I appreciate you being here. I do have my iPad set up over here, so any comments that you want to put in, please put them in there. Any questions? Today's going to be I think an awakening session. I'm going to go through some stuff today, and I haven't completed this list perfectly myself. I can tell you that, but I've hit a lot of these points, and I think a lot of these points are really important for you to know at any age. If you've got some life left, okay, which we all do if we're sitting there today, then I think it's important that you know these things. These are life lessons, and it's not scientific by any stretch of the imagination, but I think a lot of the things I'm going to share with you today are really going to resonate with you. You're going to say, yeah, that kind of makes sense. I got to work on that. And if it awakens one person, okay, it was worthwhile, but I think it's going to awaken a lot of you. If you're not watching this live, that's okay too. You can put comments in the comments section. I'll come back and answer those. Don't forget to subscribe. That's so important, guys. We're trying to build the channel. Share this channel with other people. Turn that red button to gray. Don't forget to ring the bell. Turn on all bell notifications so you're notified every time I go live or if I upload a new video. And please heavily use this comment section right here. This is so important. Or chat section, I said comment, the chat section. If you're live today, be part of the conversation. If one of these things is something that you can relate to, let me know that in that chat section there. Say, hey, yeah, JR, that makes sense to me. I kind of get that. So please put that in there too. And I'm going to jump right in here and I'm going to get to this list. Now, these are things that people who are, I guess, on their deathbed, you want to call it that, would warn you about, would say, hey, you need to look at these things, okay? Now, the first one I think is one that affects everybody to a certain degree, and I don't think you'll ever master this one, but I think it's important to realize what's going on. The first one is caring too much about what other people think, because here's the truth. They don't really think much about you. They're so wrapped up in their own worlds, they don't have time to think about you. And when we worry about what everybody thinks about us, it actually changes our behavior because we start saying, well, I would go up on that stage and I would give my speech, but I think some of the people in my company would make fun of me. So I think I won't do that. So what you've done is you've made this decision in your brain that other people are going to react in a particular way, and it's going to prevent you from doing something that you should do. I want to give another example. Let's say you're in a coffee shop and you're walking away and the lid slips a little bit and you dump your coffee all over the floor. Okay. Now, the person that it happens to, the person that dumped their coffee, is thinking in their mind, oh my gosh, all these people are looking at me. They're all thinking I'm stupid. They're all thinking I'm clumsy. I just dumped my coffee all over the floor. Now, let's switch this. The people that are sitting in that coffee shop and they see this happen, do you think they're looking at you going, boy, that's a dumb, stupid person? No. Here's what they're doing. They're going, oh my God, if I did that, I would be so embarrassed. I would be so scared. There's proof that people are thinking about themselves more than you. So don't think about what everybody's going to think about you because they're not. That's not the issue here. The issue is everybody's thinking about themselves. And when you worry about other people and how they're going to perceive you, how they're going to look at you, how they're going to judge you, when you do that, you're actually hindering yourself because you're preventing yourself from doing things that you probably should do. That's number one. Number two, not accomplishing enough. Guys, you can do so much more than what you're already doing. And I don't even care what you're doing. I don't care what you're doing. Let's take somebody like Elon Musk. Look at where he's at. And I'm probably going to mention him a couple times, but I think a lot of people in their deathbed were saying, hey man, I should have written that book. I should have sang that song. I should have learned that instrument. I should have picked up that language. There were so many things I wanted to do that I never did. And if you don't believe it, go try to exercise. Okay. You may say, well, I can only do 5 push-ups or 3 or whatever it is. But if somebody was holding a gun to your head and said, you need to do 1 more, you'd probably pull it off, wouldn't you? Well, you do kind of have that gun to your head. That gun to your head is the end of your life. It's death. Okay. So that is always there. It's omnipresent. It's always around you. Okay. So you've got to realize that there's so many more things you can do. You need to turn off the TV. You need to get off social media. You need to actually do more things. That's one of the big things that people on their deathbed said. They felt like they didn't accomplish enough. Guys, you don't want to be sitting there in your last days going, man, I could have done so much more, but I just didn't. I just didn't do anything. I just sat around and I doodled and I scrolled through and I watched movies, but I didn't personally do anything. And I know I had so much more potential. Guys, all of you have a lot more potential than what you're probably using right now. I know I have a lot more potential than what I'm utilizing. I know this for a fact. I've learned a lot of things in adulthood that as a child I never thought I would even know or be able to do. You're not accomplishing enough. Keep that in your brain, okay? Don't get to the point where it's all over with and you don't have a chance. You don't have a chance to do anything more. Number 3, I think this one's really big. And I've really done this. I would say not most of my adult life. I'm going to take it back. Since I've had kids, I've done this one. Number 3 is not telling somebody how you truly felt on a regular basis. Now, that doesn't mean that you're mean to people. That's not exactly what I mean here. What I mean is if you care about somebody, let them know you care about them on a regular basis. If you think somebody has done a great job, one of my employees, if they've done a great job, I'm going to tell them, I'm saying, man, that's really cool. You did some amazing work here. I think a lot of people are afraid to give out compliments because it's going to take away from their self. It doesn't. You can give out compliments. You can tell people, I can tell my son, hey, I love you and I'm really proud of you. And, some of the things you've done are just amazing. Or I can tell my daughter that. And they know I mean it. And I do it on a regular basis or with my wife or whoever or friends. I'll tell a friend, I'll say, man, I saw what you did the other day. I saw that post you did. I saw that video you made. That was really amazing. You did some good stuff. That is so important to do throughout your life. You're not going to take away from yourself if you give a compliment to somebody else or if you tell somebody else how you feel about them. I've told many people, I have a friend from high school, Steve, if you're listening, but I think of him as a brother. We grew up together. We didn't spend that many years together, but we, over the years, have really stuck together and talked over the years. I have a friend in San Diego who's approaching 90 years old, and I've known him since I was 27, and I'll be 63 in September. And we've just always remained friends. And I've gone out to lunch with him and I've gone, windsurfing with him and he's coming to visit us in Texas. And I tell him, I love him. He's a great guy. Don't be afraid to tell somebody how you truly feel. Okay. Don't wait until it's too late. Number 4, not standing up for yourself more. Guys, don't take crap. Okay. I want you to be polite. I want you to be kind to people. I tell you almost every time I do one of these lives, be kind, go out and be kind to somebody. However, you don't have to take crap off people either. People can't see you as a weak person. It was funny the other day, Elon Musk is really, and I'm going to talk about him a little bit in this training today, but he's one of those guys who will say what he's thinking on Twitter and online. And somebody was saying something, the Twitter group was saying something bad about him. And his reply was, I'm rubber and you're glue. How funny is that? I think he's the only billionaire in the world that actually has a sense of humor, but he doesn't take crap off people. Okay. He doesn't let stuff get to him. Number five. Okay. We got 20 items we're going to do today. Not following your passion in life, or let me kill this. Somebody's trying to call me, or not even trying to find out what your passion is in life. I'm not saying that you're going to hit on something that all of a sudden one day the light bulb's going to go off and go, my God, this is it. But not even trying to find what your passion is, not even trying different things. Just trying different things is the journey. Okay. Just going places and trying new things out and seeing what talents you have and writing and all this. We have a pet sitter that's going to be coming to help us out. Very sweet young girl. And she's going to be going to college. And I asked her, I said, what are you going to study? She says, writing. So she's going to go to college and she's going to study writing. And I think to myself, well, I write every single day. And, my wife says, do you plan on writing a book? She goes, oh my God, I'd love to do that one day. And I said to her, well, my wife and I have both written books. And she was like in awe. And I'm thinking, well, anybody can do that. That's not a big thing. That's the big thing. If you haven't written a book, you probably should. I think everybody's got a book in them. But the point is, go out and look for your passion, find your passion, follow it. And if you do know what it is, if you're one of those lucky people and you know what it is, go out there and do it, man. Don't give me any excuses about money or time or any of that stuff. Just go do it, because people on their deathbed will tell you they were sorry they didn't do that. Number 6, this is a big one. I see a lot of people doing this, arguing with your loved ones all the time. Okay, here's the truth, guys. You do not become a better person by winning arguments with other people. You do not become a better person by winning arguments with other people. Gosh, I need to post that later on. What's the point? If you win an argument with a loved one, with a friend, if you win an argument, you've lost because you've made that other person feel poorly. Don't worry about it. They can have a different opinion than you. You can have a different opinion than them. You don't have to win arguments. It is not going to make you a better person to win these arguments. It's just not. That was number 6, guys, of pure counting. Number 7. Number 7, I think, is a big one for those of you who have children. And here's how it goes. Not growing the children to be who they wanted to be. Give them permission to do whatever they want, okay, with their lives. Now, you want to guide them. You want to instruct them. Sure you do. You're a parent. But sometimes we need to step back and say, is that really necessary? I remember my daughter, when she was probably, I don't know, I want to say 12, 13, something like that. I was a single dad. And she told me she wanted to paint her room. I think it was green at the time. She wanted green walls. Now, my immediate reaction was, oh my God, I don't want a green wall. I don't want a bedroom with green walls. But then I stopped and then I thought about it. And I thought, you know what? It's her room. We could always paint over it when we sell the house. If she wants green walls, let her have green walls. How is it going to hurt me? She grew up with green walls. She liked it. She liked the walls. Okay. So whatever it is that you think you want your children to do, give them the permission, okay, to be who they wanted to be. Let them do what they wanted to do. As long as it's not harming them or somebody else, is it really a big deal if they have green walls in their bedroom? Is it really? I don't think so. That's number 7. Number 8, not living more in the moment. Stop for a second and realize what you've got. Now, I think this is a huge one. I think this is something that so many people don't do. And I try to do it almost on a daily basis. I really do. I stop and I look around. You know, I'm sitting in my office right now and I got this beautiful office. And I got a laptop here. We got this big credenza over here I just bought. And I've got the cool bell and I've got an iPad here. I've got water to drink. You know, there are people in the world that don't have fresh water. Matter of fact, let me get a drink real quick. All right, if I know how to operate this thing. Delicious, fresh, cold water. I have water. What are you ignoring that you actually have all around you right now? You got a wife, you got kids, you got a dog. I mean, if you have a dog, you have to stop and look at that dog and go, oh my God, I'm so happy I have this dog, because dogs are just amazing beings. You can't argue that. You know, if you've got a dog, put it in the comment section, put it in the chat section. Tell me about your dog. But I mean, just stopping for a second and living in the moment. I think so often we'll be sitting there thinking about what we're going to do in the future or what's happened in the past and how that's going to affect us and worrying about that. And guys, just stop for a second. Just stop and realize where you're at right now. Realize where you're at right now. Be thankful for where you're at. And if you think your situation's horrible, if you think it's the worst that ever possibly could be, and you know, I know a guy who got a brain hemorrhage, and he's a digital marketer, and I follow him online, and he's been paralyzed from the neck down, I think, for almost 400 days now. You know, he is one of the most positive people. He's just one of the most positive people. The friend of mine in San Diego that I talked about that's almost 90 years old, he's one of those positive people, and he's had cancer twice. He has it now. And just a positive person and just loves life. Why not stop and live in the moment for a second? Quit worrying about the future. Don't dwell on the past. Just stop and look around you for a little bit. That's number 8. Number 9. Oh my gosh, this is a big one. Not working smart. Not working smart. Guys, use the internet to earn a living. It's crazy that most people go to a job every day when they don't have to. Now, some of you are going to tell me, well, I love my job, and it's a lot of benefits and blah, 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 blah. The internet's an amazing thing. I mean, I'm sitting here talking to you right now and I'm expressing my opinions and I'm actually getting paid for it. And I would do this even if I didn't get paid. Matter of fact, I do this when I don't get paid, because for years I did videos on YouTube and I wasn't monetized. I wasn't making any money, but I could get out my feelings, right? But not working smart. I mean, the internet is something that has changed the world, has changed so many lives. And if you're not utilizing it to, increase your income, increase your reach, increase who you touch on a daily basis, you're missing out. You got to work smart. That's number 9. Okay, we're coming along here. We're doing pretty good. Don't forget to put your comments in there. I want to see your comments. I'll stop and answer you. I'll even put them up on the screen if you want, but put your comments in there. Number 10, we're at number 10 now, so we're halfway through. We only got 20 of these. Number 10 is a big one. I've just started doing this in probably the past 10 years, but it's traveling too little. Traveling too little. You must travel. You must travel. Now, I have friends who don't travel. They'll give you various reasons for not doing it. I think a lot of it has to do with fear. But traveling really changes your world. It changes your perception. You can see more. You can understand the world more. And the thing that I noticed, and I've been to a lot of different countries. I've been to Mexico and the Caribbean and Haiti and Dominican Republic, and I've been to Bangkok, and we're getting ready to go to Rome. And the one thing I noticed once I've been in one of these places for a while, it's pretty interesting. We're all the same. We're all the same. I mean, we wake up every day and we're getting through our day and we're trying to get stuff done and we're trying to earn a living and we're trying to get fed and we're trying to stay healthy. We're all pretty much the same. But the other thing that I really like is the different foods, the different cultures that I get exposed to. And I really get to know these people. Those are the memories that really stick with me. It's not, what fancy diamond ring I've got or what chains on my wrist or something like that. It's meeting all these different people. It's experiencing their culture. It's eating their foods. And bringing that back with me. And I love that. I love that. So if you're not traveling, you need to travel. And I know you're going to give me all kinds of excuses. You're going to say, I don't have time off from work. And I'm going to tell you to go online and earn a living. Or you're going to say you don't have the money. I'm going to say cut money out of something else. Traveling is so important, guys. It really is. Number 11, listening to everyone else's opinions. Oh my God, this is such a killer, isn't it? Especially those who haven't done much with their lives. Okay. The people that are going to give you negative opinions about what you're doing or what you're going to try to do and all that probably have not done a whole lot themselves. So what I would tell you is stop listening to their opinions. When I started my internet business, I told some people, and they knew me. They knew that I was managing car dealerships at the time. And they knew that, I wasn't really computer literate. I mean, I couldn't send an email. I didn't know how to type. I was like this hunt and peck thing. And I said, I'm going to start an online business. And they looked at me and said, are you crazy? You can't even type. There's no way you're going to excel online. There's no way you're going to be able to make a living online. Now, keep in mind, this came from people who did not make a living online, right? There's the key. So if you want to listen to other people's opinions, look at some of people, if you're going to do this, and I don't even like to do this, but look at some of the people out there that have accomplished some of the things you want to do. If somebody has made millions of dollars online in e-commerce and you tell them that's what you like to do, they're probably going to say, well, you can certainly do it. You can certainly do it. But if you tell somebody you want to do an e-commerce website and it's, one of your friends who works in an office all day long and they do accounting, they're going to think you're crazy. So you got to understand where you're getting these opinions from are generally from people who haven't done anything. Somebody who's already done it's going to say, yeah, that's easy. You could do it. Maybe you got to work hard, but yeah, anybody can do that. Number 12, this is a tough one. We all struggle with this one, but there's no excuses for this one. Not taking care of yourself physically and mentally. Okay. Really important. You are going to have to exercise. Okay. I don't care what anybody tells you. I don't care what pills there are. I don't care what potions, what drinks, what diets there are. You're still going to have to exercise. Okay. Think about this. As you get older, your muscles will atrophy. In other words, they go away. You lose muscle. Okay. That's just the way it is. And if you go to get up from the couch, you could fall down and get hurt. But if you're going to the gym every day and you're doing squats and you're lifting weights and you go to get up from the couch, you're probably not going to fall down. You're probably not going to get hurt. And mentally, you need to take a checkup from the neck up. Where are you mentally? Okay. Are you doing the things that are going to make you mentally more sound? Are you getting the sleep you want? Are you eating the way you want? Or, do you have good relationships in your life? Do you have, friends that support you? You got to look at these things, guys. Number 12, a lot of people on their deathbed says they didn't take care of themselves, both physically and mentally. Number 12. Number 13. Okay. Number 13 is not willing to take risk. Okay. Fear is a paralyzing thing. I mean, it really is paralyzing. Now, your idea of risk could be vastly different from somebody else's ideas of risk. Okay. My son does skydiving. I think that's idiotic. Okay. But he likes to do it. Okay. A lot of people wouldn't do that, but somewhere between skydiving and getting up in front of a group and talking, there's fear. Okay. There's fear. And both of those things can be very paralyzing. But here's something I want to share with you, which you may not have realized if you haven't tried a lot of things. People who try things, okay, people who, risk things, who try different things, end up trying even more things because it builds confidence. When you try things you're scared of and you get through it, which you will, you always get through it unless you die in the middle of it, right? Skydiving, right? But if you try new things and you get through it, it's going to give you this confidence to do more things. And once again, I'm going to bring up my buddy Elon Musk, and I say my buddy, just in a form of, it's not really my friend or anything like that, but he has done so many things, right? He has the Boring Company, which he started as a joke, and it's turned into a real company. And he has, oh shoot, I can't think of his rocket, but he has a rocket company. You guys know the name of it. Put it in the chat box. Put it in the comments. SpaceX. Okay, there it is. It was on the tip of my tongue. He started a car company. Nobody told him, or everybody told him he couldn't do it. But every time he accomplishes something, and he has an AI company too, or Neuralink thing, the brain thing he's working on, and who knows what else he's working on? I don't know. But the point is, the more things you try, the more confidence you're going to build, and the more things you're going to be able to do. The less things you try, the more fear is going to creep in, the more paralyzed you're going to be, and the more afraid of more things you'll be. So number 13 is not willing to take risks. That's what people in their deathbed said, guys. Don't be that person. All right, that was number 13. I got number 14 here, and number 14 is not realizing the fact that we all have the same amount of time. This is the funniest thing I've ever seen. And I used to buy into this when I was younger. When I thought about starting an online business, I told myself I didn't have enough time. I told myself that I was so busy. Okay. Here's the truth. You're no busier than anybody else. You're just not. It's just how you're spending your time. Each one of us wakes up every single day with 24 hours ahead of us. Everyone wakes up with 24 hours ahead of us. If you're running out of time, you may be spending time on things that you need to change. Okay. And that's the situation I was in. I was working from, 7:30, 8 in the morning, getting home 8, 9 o'clock at night. I was a single dad, getting the kids in bed. And then I would sit down in front of the TV from, maybe 10 o'clock to 11 or 12, watching TV, get up the next day and start all over again. And I told myself I didn't have enough time. Not enough time to do anything. Not enough time to start a new business. Not enough time to change your life. When in fact, one night I sat there and I was like, wait a second. From 10 to 12, I watch TV. Why am I doing that? What's the point in that? And I determined at that moment, from 10 to 12, I wasn't going to watch TV anymore. What I was going to do is I was going to work on an online business. I was going to start a business. Now that was 12, almost 13 years ago in December. 13 years ago in December, I made that decision. And then I started staying up to 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. And yes, to answer your question, I got tired, but it changed my life because I realized that I had some time I could invest. Guys, I know you're busy. I know you got wife, husband, kids, work, all these commitments, but you got 24 hours. Are you using it really wisely? Are you watching TV? Are you hanging out on Netflix special? What are you doing with your time? You all have 24 hours just like I do. There's no difference. Okay. That's number 14. Number 15, worrying too much. Just worrying too much. Okay. Worry is a very exhausting thing. Worry does you no good. And here's the truth. 97% of the time, it doesn't matter. There has been studies that have been proven that 87% of the things that you worry about will never happen. 87% of the things that you worry about will never happen. That's huge. That's huge. But wait, you say, JR, that leaves 13%. Yes, it does leave 13%. 10% of that 13 will happen, but you can't do anything about it. You can't do anything about it. It's not possible. Okay. So that leaves 3% that will happen, and you could have had some influence over it. So if you look at it in that perspective, why would you waste your efforts 97% of the time? You know, if you I'm trying to think, if a doctor did operations and 97% of the patients died, would that guy keep operating? He probably wouldn't. He probably would get fired, I would think, you know. If 97% of the people who ate a chef's food got food poisoning, they'd probably fire him. So why in the world are you worrying when 97% of the time it just doesn't matter? That's number 15. Number 16, and we're going on about these are things that people say on their deathbed that they wish they had changed, okay? And we're doing okay on time. I'm coming along. Number 16, not appreciating your situation. You're better off than most people. You just are. You're better off than most people. Most people in the world, you know, third world countries, they just try to get through the day. They're trying to get a bucket of water to their hut. But we don't see that every day. We're surrounded by all the social media where people have fancy cars and nice homes and jewelry and perfect hair and makeup and all that, and they never talk about their problems. Guys, you're better off than most people in the world. But you've got to realize it. You got to start appreciating your situation. You got to appreciate if you've got a roof over your head. You got to appreciate if you have food and water. And oh my gosh, I mean, I could get into all the technology I have that do, you know, sometimes I'm just amazed at technology. I sit there on my phone and I'll turn my lights on and off, or, you know, I'll check the cameras around the house to see things. I mean, look at what we've got. Look at what we've got, guys. If you've got a phone, right? That's like the world, openness to the world right there. Not appreciating your situation is one of the things that people on their deathbed said they wish they had done differently. That's number 16. We're down to the last 4 now. Number 17 is spending too little time with family and friends. Too little time with family and friends. Now, I do want to give a caveat to this, and that caveat is do not spend a lot of time with family and friends if they bring you down. Don't do it, okay? If it's a friend situation, I would suggest maybe parting company with that friend, okay? Parting company and finding a friend that will support you, finding a friend that is positive, and then maybe you're going to want to spend more time with them. Family members, okay? That's a touchy situation, right? We all have family members that are negative, that are hard on us, that criticize us and all that. You probably don't want to spend a whole lot of time with those family members, but the ones you care about, the ones that mean something to you, the ones that are positive, take out a little bit of time. Call them, text them, let them know you care about them. You know, I have several friends online, and I'm always touched by the fact that they'll just text me out of the blue and say, how you doing? How's your wife doing? What are you guys up to? And they actually care. And man, that means so much. It does. And you can do the same thing. To have a friend, you've got to nurture it. You've got to nurture it. You know, that friend I talked about earlier in the session from high school, we text each other every now and then. He'll send me something funny. I'll send him something. You know, it's just really important to do that, guys. So people on their deathbed said spending too little time with family and friends, the ones you want to, okay? That's number 17. Number 18 is failing to realize no one is better than anyone else. This is a big thing to wrap your head around. Because we put people up on pedestals. We put these sports people on a pedestal. Oh, they're so much better than me. We put these celebrities on pedestals. We put somebody who's very talented at singing on pedestals. When in fact, there's nobody, literally nobody that's better than you. No one is better than you, but here's the key to this whole thing. This is something you got to get in your head too. You aren't any better than anybody else. You aren't any better than anybody else, okay? Those people that serve you on a daily basis in a restaurant, those people that are cashiers, those people that, I don't know, make your coffee, whatever it is, mow your lawn, you're not better than them. You're not, okay? You're just doing something differently, maybe. You know, you've got a different job. Maybe you have different income. Maybe you're luckier. I don't know. But you know what? Some of those people who do some of those very basic things are some of the kindest people in the world. And I'm not saying that people that are rich are not kind, but a lot of times when you get some money, you start to think you're better because you got some money. You're not. It's never going to happen. You're never going to be better than anybody else. No matter what you collect, no matter what prizes you have around, you know, how big your house is, how fancy your car is, you're still not any better than anybody. You're just not. It doesn't work that way. So don't fail to realize that no one is better than you and you aren't better than anybody else. We're down to our last two. Down to our last two, guys. And feel free, like I said, to put any comments in there that you want. Love to have your comments in there. And in the chat section, if you're live, go ahead and utilize that too. Number 19, help people without expecting anything in return. Help people without expecting anything in return. I see so often where people will say, well, I'm going to go do this charity because it'll look good on my resume. Or, you know, I'm going to try to help this person out because they've got a friend that I want to get to meet. Guys, you know, when I was in Virginia, I joined the Virginia Beach Rescue Squad, and I was on an ambulance. I was an EMT, and I treated people. And, you know, some people lived and some people died. But I never expected anything back from them. I never expected to get anything back. And it made me feel so good. When you just help somebody and you don't expect anything in return, you just can't put a price on that. And if you haven't done it, try it. You'll see what I mean. We're getting ready to go to a big convention in Vegas. My wife and I were talking about it, and we were talking about if it's going to be a good convention or not. And I said, I know it's going to be a good one. I know it. I know it for a fact. And I think it's called Zoo World, something like that. It's all about pets and all that. But the reason I know it's going to be a good one is because when I go to these things, I've set myself up to win. And here's how I set myself up to win. I don't go to find people that can help me out, that I'll make money from, that will move me forward. Never do I do that. I go there to try to help somebody out. And that's my job, to help somebody else out. Now, here's the cool thing about helping other people out. Sometimes there's an offshoot to that. I went on a cruise a few years ago, and my goal was to go on this cruise and help as many people as I possibly can. And I did. I started helping people all around me, started talking to people, telling them things they could do. And I got 2 clients that earned me over $80,000 in the 90 days after I came back. $80,000. Now, here's the funny thing. I didn't even look at them as potential clients. I didn't think of that. They, after I helped them out, after I gave them free advice, said, hey, can I hire you to help me in the future? And I helped both of them, and they both excelled. And I thought that was a pretty cool thing, because that's what I did. I helped somebody out, but it did come back to me. Don't expect that to happen. It doesn't always happen. But if you go to something and you come back and say, that was a crappy convention, that was a lousy meeting, that wasn't any good, there was nobody worthwhile there, that means you went with the wrong intent. You didn't go there to try to help people out, which is what you should be doing. Go there to help people out. Number 20, we're down to our last one here. And I think time-wise, we're doing good. We're on 10:30. Not sharing what you learned with others. It's a life requirement for you to share your knowledge. Okay, what's the point? What's the point in collecting all this knowledge? What's the point in knowing all these things? What's the point in filling up your brain if you don't pass it on to another person? If you don't help another person out? It is your life goal to learn every day, but it's also your life goal to help other people out and share your knowledge. Okay. If you've got some knowledge about something, maybe in the beginning of this, one of your fears was getting up on stage and talking. But man, if you've got some knowledge and it's going to help other people out, if you've learned something by making mistakes, or you've learned something by your successes, why wouldn't you want to share that with the world? Why wouldn't you want to get out there and say, hey, these are the things that I figured out, and I think they're going to help you out too. This is what I learned, and I want to share it with you. Not sharing what you've learned with others is one of the biggest regrets that people had on their deathbed. It's a life requirement to share your knowledge. There's no other point in gaining knowledge but to share it with other people so that they can benefit from it too. Guys, I think we've had a good session today. I really do. And I hope this has some effect on you. If it does, and you think it's good information, give me a thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up button. Just click it like that. Okay, just do that real quick. Click that thumbs up button. And what else? I want you to ring the bell. Turn on all bell notifications after you have subscribed. You can't do this. This is something precious right here. You don't get to ring this bell unless you subscribe, because that's the way YouTube works. They say, hey, you want to subscribe to this channel, hit that button. Then when you hit the button, it gives you the opportunity to ring the bell, turn on notifications, so that when I do a video and I upload it, you'll know about it. When I go live, you'll know about it. That's the way the system works. Guys, I love talking to you guys. I love your comments. Do me a favor after this video. Look below and put your comments down there, questions down there. If you just want to say hello, tell me about your life, share something with me, let me know, and go through all 20 of these. Go through this video a couple times. These things are really important. I don't want to see you on your deathbed saying, yeah, JR told me about this and now look at me. Don't let that happen. Okay, go through these 20 things. And if some of them resonate with you, if some of them really mean something to you, or maybe you're doing some of these, put that in the comment section too. Guys, I really appreciate each and every one of you. Love you very much. Thank you for being here. I plan on being here again Friday, but you never know, right? I plan on being here again Friday. So, if you like this kind of content, come back, see me on Friday. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Talk to you real soon.